Scott McNamara is the Oneida County District Attorney. He's on the line right now. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Bill.
Well, the story that just keeps on going.
For sure.
I'm sure by Monday morning you were like, oh, here we go again. And we're getting a lot of influence from outside the area because, of course, Kim Strong, it looks like she was working with this group down there in Nassau County. So you were there yesterday. Two-part question. Number one, what did it look like? And number two, in media interviews, the woman from the SPCA is saying they spent the whole weekend cleaning things up. So it sounds like maybe under Kim Strong's management, things got nasty all over again. What do you think?
It sounds like that. Yeah, I was there twice yesterday. I was there early in the morning, about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I wanted to speak to whoever was in charge because obviously this thing blew up on the internet, specifically Facebook over the weekend. So there was a lot of people that thought that the dogs had been left in cages and uncared for, and there was a lot of stuff going on. There was also reports that there was rats running all over the place and things of that nature. So I just wanted to go down and see for myself. I wanted to find out who was in charge, and I wanted them to know my position, which is that I personally wanted the place shut down yesterday. But I don't have the authority to do that, and I let them know my position on what was going on down there. I did not go in. I was not invited in. I can't just walk in without a warrant, and they did not invite me in. They did agree to allow my investigators to go in, which, in my opinion, was probably the best thing to do because if I had went in and seen something, and then I make myself a witness in my office, we have to declare a conflict, so because I can't be the prosecutor and a witness.
Okay, all right.
I did leave the morning meeting fairly comfortable with the two women that I dealt with. They were in control. They had made certain assurances to me, including that the dogs that were left were in good shape. I could see one dog that appeared very healthy. Her name was Lady. In contrary to some of the reports I was seeing on the internet, that dog was not covered in feces, and she appeared fairly healthy. I shouldn't say fairly healthy, very healthy. There's nothing wrong with it I could see.
Yeah.
So then I left. There were certain things about the outside of the building I wasn't happy with, and I called the Corporation Counsel and expressed my concerns. These are things that are not in the DA's office control. I do not do code stuff, but there were two dumpsters that were overflowing with garbage. Once again, the reports on Facebook where there was rats running all over the place. I didn't see a rat when I was there.
Yeah.
Not saying there weren't rats, but I figured, if there's garbage all over the place, then, that would be attracting the rats. There's also a large amount of tires there. And, right now the county's got a big push on to get rid of any standing water, and specifically tires. They hold water and are breeding ground for mosquitoes. So I called Corporation Counsel. I told them that I thought they should get down there, and I voiced my concerns with the exterior of that place. And then because of that, my understanding is the mayor went down there with the codes department. Sorry, they reported back to me there were no codes violations. I also spoke to the lawyer for the owner of the building, expressed my concerns about a lot of things. Once again, a lot of things that just needs to be picked up and cleaned up. I was assured that would take place. At lunchtime, I had a conversation with the Corporation Counsel again. They assured me that the garbage was being taken out, so I drove back there. When I arrived there, it was about between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. There were two garbage trucks there taking all the garbage. And they were cleaning up the garbage. When I was pulling in, I did see a vehicle. I didn't recognize the vehicle. It seemed to be a government vehicle. Myself and Grant Garamone was in the car with me. We just were watching what was going on. There's like 4 or 5 dogs being walked around and outside. One dog in particular wasn't even in a cage. Somebody was walking him. I'm not sure if she adopted that dog or just walking it. And I saw the people come out to it was like a Suburban or an SUV, and it was the SPCA. I said, this is perfect. I rolled up on them with Grant. I rolled down my window. I motioned for them to roll down their window. That's when they saw me, and they said, oh, we were just coming to see you. And I said, that's good. What's going on in there? They told me that the conditions are fine. And they said the cages are all clean. I said, do you find any violations? They said, no. I said, are you happy or are you satisfied with the conditions? And they said, yes. At that point, one of the ladies I spoke to in the morning came over again, and I acknowledged her, and she told me that she had been visited by numerous people that day, and told me that they had adopted 7 dogs out just yesterday.
Okay.
So that put them down to about 52. She also told me there were 3 dogs in there that apparently belong to somebody that is serving a jail sentence and is going to be out, and they'll be picking those dogs up. She voiced some other things that she had heard. I'm not sure if they were true. I mean, they were double, triple layer hearsay. She invited the SPCA back in to inspect a room that they had never seen in there, and then I left. At that point, I had arrangements for my investigators to go back at 2:00. They went back in and they videotaped the scene for me. At around 2:30, I spoke to the deputy chief of the police. He advised me that him and police officers were there. So yesterday was a day that I would say we had a lot of people inside of there. Not one of those people reported back to me that the conditions were deplorable. What it appears happened, and from what I can see, that when Kim left, maybe she wasn't taking care of the dogs. I just know that the lady that I dealt with is somebody of high rank from this rescue mission in Nassau. The other lady is from the Nassau County SPCA. When I left, I felt very comfortable that place is in the control of people that have the dogs in their best interest, and they're doing everything that they possibly can. When I told them I wanted them out by the end of the day, the one lady basically looked at me and she says, that's impossible because we have no place to put these dogs. They have cover. We're cleaning them. They did tell me that what they reported to me was that Kim had received money to deworm the dogs, basically give them worm medicine, and that hadn't been done. Apparently one dog over the weekend had gotten diarrhea. Maybe that's where all this started.
Okay.
Somebody saw that. But they told me it was only one dog, that it wasn't all the dogs. They did tell me that they spent all day Sunday, and they told me that they left at 10 o'clock at night, and that they spent the whole night or the whole day giving all the dogs worm medicine. I didn't see any dog, but once again, I didn't go in. I didn't have a warrant, and I was trying to be careful not to make myself a witness.
Right.
In a lot of this stuff, although for some reason somebody in the fire department chose to push this video out and put the DA's number on, a lot of this stuff has nothing to do with the DA's office. For example, I don't have anything to do with code violation. I am not an investigator. My office, I don't have an investigative staff. So we're doing things that we typically don't do because we, like everybody else out there, is trying to get to the bottom and resolve this problem. And the one thing that, a lot of people, and I've, received everything from death threats to being called creepy. I mean, it's absolutely insane, but the reality is this. Okay, I don't have any laws that I can prosecute anybody for. There is no law on the books, and that's what the people that are all worked up, they need to do 2 things. If they're so concerned, they need to adopt a dog. And 2, if they're really concerned about this, they need to address this with the legislature to pass laws. For example, I don't believe any dog should be caged 24 hours a day. There's no law that prohibits it.
Right.
There's a law. I don't believe anybody should have 118 dogs in one facility. There's no law prohibiting it. I can't just go in there and violate people's constitutional rights. Like, for example, I literally took a picture of the sign. It says, private property, no trespassing. That keeps people like me out. I got to say, the lady was very agreeable to let my investigators in, and I told her they're going to videotape it, and they did. So, and I'm wondering what's going on with some of this reporting, if it's not hysteria, or there might be competing factions different groups that are trying to run each other through the mud. I don't know. But yesterday, nobody reported back to me anything that would make it so that we could prosecute anybody for dog abuse or animal abuse. And it's not an ideal situation, I'll say that. I mean, I don't believe that you should put dogs in cages and keep them in a building. But the alternative, and all the people that are screaming at me is, and what they don't understand is, I don't have a facility to take 52 dogs. If I take 52 dogs, I have to put them down. Right. I really don't think that the people that love these dogs want to see that happen. I don't have the ability, and there's no place. I can't take them home. I don't even have dog food enough for 4 dogs.
I don't think anybody's asking for you to take them home, but
this is a great movie plot.
People keep yelling and screaming, and they want something done. But the reality is, I'm trying to get, and at this point, we've got this Road to Home organization, which I got the impression from talking to them, they were somewhat upset with Kim because she has given them a bad name in their opinion, and they're trying to make this right. And a lot of this is patience. I mean, I got to say one thing that I was very impressed with yesterday. First of all, I was impressed with the fact that these people were pushing back pretty hard on me, that let me believe that they felt very strongly that they could take care of the situation. Secondly, one of the things they said to me when I was telling them, basically, I don't care, you need to get these dogs out of here, they were explaining to me that it doesn't work that way. For us to adopt a dog out, we have to do a background check on the people we're giving the dog to, because obviously they don't want to give dogs to people that are using them for dog fights. They don't want to give them to people that abuse dogs. Sure. So there is and one of the things they talked about, they actually have where the person that's adopting it, they will take the dog, and they will actually, the one lady was telling me, Liz from Nassau County, said that they actually take the dog to the home and make sure the dog interacts, appropriately with the other dogs or the other people in the house before they let them adopt them. Those are important things, and you can't do that with a snap of a finger or with, 50 people showing up saying, give me a dog. And I felt very comfortable, because the last thing we want to do is to have one of these dogs get adopted out. That we're being reported to that they're very dangerous, and that's why Kim took them. That if one of these dogs gets adopted out to a family, and then that dog
bites a kid,
child, then what's everything?
I have 45 seconds.
Yeah, just quickly, just to the point you just made, Scott. If they adopted out 7 dogs, you said you had some concerns. You were back and forth there all day. This woman is still there, but she says she adopted out 7 dogs, but also says there's this extensive process to adopt out dogs. That almost doesn't add up.
Well, it was already in progress, and some of the dogs weren't adopted out to homes. They were sent back to to the
other facilities.
Whoever sent them to the facility.
All right,
for example, if I had dogs, I sent them. They sent them back to the people that took them there.
This story, combined with the public attention it's getting in the media, combined with Facebook, combined with calling people creepy. This thing is
First time I've been called creepy. I
don't see creepy there. I just don't. Just for the record, Scott.
I appreciate that. That was on top of the person that threatened to come and kill me because he's mad about the.
Has somebody been charged for that? You cannot threaten to kill a DJ.
I do have to break. They wouldn't kill you. They'd euthanize you, Scott. So just for the record. All right, I got to break.